when I watch her, two things I like. She's playing much faster.
Yeah.
Much faster. She was playing too slow the first half of the.
Caitlin Clark, a rising star in women's basketball. Anyone who's been following basketball knows one thing for sure: Caitlin Clark is taking the game to new heights. Even NBA legends, who've seen countless talents come and go, can't help but be amazed by what she's doing on the court. Her impressive skills and growing popularity are giving the WNBA a spotlight it's never had before. But here's the kicker: Michael Jordan, the GOAT himself, has finally spoken up about Caitlin, and when Jordan talks, people listen. His praise for her isn't just
a bit more condensed. Good turnover for rookies like Clark as she weaves her way inside, counting the foul.
It's a big deal. Jordan's words carry weight, and the way he's acknowledged Caitlin's talent says a lot about her potential in the game. Caitlin Clark faces challenges, but she's thriving. Let's take a step back for a moment. Caitlin Clark hasn't exactly had a smooth ride to the top. From the moment she entered the professional world last season, she's faced more than her fair share of challenges. Whether it's tough opponents, criticism from the media, or dealing with high expectations, Clark has been tested in every way: physically, mentally, and emotionally.
People are just crazy about why she should be doing this and they should be doing that. If she's so great, this team, it's still a team game, people. It is still a team game. And, but I'm rooting for Caitlin because I've been in that seat before. I've walked that road before. I hope she kills. I hope Aaliyah Boston does amazing. I hope they do great.
She's faced is petty jealousy, but there's something bigger going on here. Many of the NBA legends who are now speaking out in her favor can relate to what Caitlin's going through. After all, they too were once rookies, faced their own share of criticism, and had to prove themselves on the court. LeBron James.
I think it's reprehensible what they're allowing some of these players. Anybody that does something flagrant to this young lady for what she's brought to the game should be suspended and fined big time for doing.
Rise without mentioning LeBron James. The King has been outspoken about his respect for Caitlin's game. He's not just watching from the sidelines. LeBron has used his massive social media following to call out Caitlin's detractors, defending her every step of the way. When someone like LeBron James, who has seen it all in the NBA, gives you a stamp of approval, you know you're doing something right. Rick Barry, a bold stand for Caitlin. Rick Barry, the
I think people love Caitlin Clark, besides her skills.
She can shoot threes from logo.
We never seen that before. That's my point. Steph Curry, a little kid. Steph Curry, I love. You know why I love Steph Curry? Because I've never seen that before. I've never seen that before. I've seen it a little bit in Mahmoud Abdul-Roh, but I've never seen a guy consistently come down. And if you look at, if you saw Steph on the street, he ain't got the LeBron muscles. He's not 6'9", he's 6'10". He look like a perfect, normally office guy.
Yeah.
He's doing stuff that people never seen before. She's doing stuff we've never seen before. Never seen nobody do that on a consistent basis.
Personality didn't hesitate to jump into the conversation and defend Caitlin Clark. Barry spoke up, calling out the disrespect that Caitlin's been receiving and making it clear that her talent should be celebrated, not undermined. He also pointed out how important it is for the league to take stronger measures to protect her, especially with the rough play that often targets her offensive style. Barry's words resonated deep.
When you look at it, they don't know the value that she's bringing for all of them. She bringing, they flying private planes now. They went flying private before she came. They on major networks now. They weren't doing that. See, she remind me of Tiger Woods for golf. Yes. He changed the paycheck. So why ain't somebody, unions, making this an issue for these girls to say man, we need another Caitlin Clark if we gonna be able to get all these benefits because they didn't have it before she got into the.
It's one thing for a player to be talented, but for a legend like Rick Barry to call attention to the way Caitlin is being treated, it sends a powerful message to both her critics and the league. Michael Jordan, the ultimate endorsement. Now, let's circle back to Michael Jordan. MJ is the ultimate authority when it comes to basketball greatness, and for him to weigh in on Caitlin Clark is a game.
Her range, her three-point shooting overall, her flair for testing her range every night and knowing that the other team's going to try to take it away. And she's fearless. no shot is a bad shot, and when you can shoot it as well as she can, she just adds another element of surprise that you can't really game plan for because it's so kind of just unseen. And once she crosses half court, she's within her range. It's always a threat. Biggest thing is how she balances that and her playmaking ability to get everybody else
skills and acknowledged her growing influence on the game, and when MJ speaks, you can bet it's not just lip service. He recognizes something special in her, and that recognition carries serious weight. Caitlin Clark's future, a bright path ahead. So, what does this all mean for Caitlin Clark and women's basketball? It's clear that Caitlin isn't just another player, she's a force to be reckoned with. With the backing of legends like Jordan, LeBron, and Barry, Caitlin.
I think it's great what she's done, and I think it's great what the media and the WNBA and marketing and the players are doing because, controversy is not good, but, controversy sells.
Basketball in general are on the verge of something big, and Caitlin is leading the charge. Her journey isn't over, and while she still has a long way to go, it's safe to say that Caitlin Clark's rise is far from a passing trend. She's already shaping the future of the sport, and with the support of basketball's greatest icons, her star is only going to keep rising. Legends support Caitlin Clark's rise, a new era in basketball. The sports world has been buzzing lately about one name, Caitlin Clark. And it's not just because of her jaw-dropping skills on the court. It's because she's making waves and showing the world that women's basketball is more than just a game, it's a movement. Many thought that Caitlin's rise would be met with skepticism or resistance, but as she's proven, talent and determination know no gender boundaries. Even the biggest names in basketball have stepped up to back her, sending a message loud and clear: Caitlin Clark is the real deal. Rick Barry stands up for Caitlin. Rick Barry, a basketball legend, didn't hesitate to step into the conversation and defend Caitlin Clark from the unjust criticism she's been facing. Barry pointed out how the disrespect towards her was unfounded and, instead,
allow her to have to fight every battle, right?
Right.
But we have to understand that both Caitlin, Angel, and Brink, who plays for my Sparks, they made the WNBA
talent. But Barry didn't stop there. He also called on the league to take more action to protect her, especially given the physical nature of her offensive style. He made it clear that players like Caitlin need protection on the court if the game is going to continue evolving. Barry's words carried weight. He wasn't just defending a player, he was defending the integrity of the game itself. Caitlin Clark's greatness, Barry said, isn't going anywhere. She's here to stay, and anyone who doubts that will be left behind. Shaq drops praise on Angel Reese's podcast.
Caitlin is the most popular WNBA player, but she's not the best at this time. Just like Larry and I were not the best when we entered the league. We became the best later on by our play. Caitlin still has to play great to become the best WNBA player.
On Angel Reese's podcast. It was a powerful moment that took everyone by surprise, especially since Shaq did it right in front of one of Clark's biggest critics. Shaq's endorsement added yet another powerful voice to the growing chorus of admiration for Caitlin. George Gervin joins the supporters. Another basketball legend, George Gervin, joined the list of Caitlin's admirers, calling her a monster on the court. Gervin highlighted the remarkable achievements Caitlin has racked up, acknowledging that her dominance on the court is undeniable. His advice? Players across the league should embrace her talent, as this would not only elevate the entire game but also lead to bigger paychecks for everyone involved. It's clear that Gervin understands that Caitlin's success can open doors for all players, both in terms of recognition and financial gain. Steph Curry weighs in. And then, of course, there's Steph Curry. The NBA sharpshooter has long been known for his incredible three-point shooting, and he sees a kindred spirit in Caitlin Clark. The similarities in their playing styles are uncanny, especially when it comes to their ability to hit three-pointers from seemingly anywhere on the court. Curry has been vocal about Caitlin's abilities, praising her game and noting that she's already proving herself to be one of the top talents in basketball. Isaiah Thomas adds his insight. Isaiah Thomas, a Hall of Fame point guard known for his basketball IQ and leadership on the court, also spoke up about Caitlin Clark. Thomas, who led the Detroit Pistons to back-to-back NBA champions.
Caitlin Clark go through shit. I'm watching all. Man, rookies, you're going to go through some shit. And guess what? When you're in, when you got the bullseye on the back, when you win, it's going to come with some shit. And nobody's hitting y'all with the step back in the high. Yeah, it's a compliment.
Coach and executive. His words carry weight in the basketball community. Thomas shared his admiration for Caitlin's game and added that her rise in women's basketball is part of a larger transformation in the sport. For him, Caitlin isn't just a talented player, she's a game changer. The power of Caitlin Clark's influence. What we're seeing unfold is nothing short of a revolution in women's basketball. Caitlin Clark's influence isn't just felt in the numbers and records she's breaking, it's felt in the way she's inspiring legends and challenging norms. The outpouring of support from the basketball world's biggest names is a testament to Caitlin's impact. Legends like Magic Johnson, Steph Curry, and Isaiah Thomas aren't just acknowledging her talent, they're acknowledging that she's changing the landscape of women's basketball. And this is just the beginning. As Caitlin Clark continues to make her mark, one thing is certain, she's not just part of the conversation, she's driving it. And with the support of basketball greats, the future of women's basketball has never looked brighter. The rise of Caitlin Clark, a transformative moment for basketball. Caitlin Clark is no ordinary basketball player. In a sport often overshadowed by its male counterpart, she has become a lightning rod for attention, conversation, and change. But her story isn't just about her talent, it's about how she's forcing a broader reckoning with how the game is perceived, celebrated, and critiqued. Clark has already achieved what few players, male or female, ever manage. She's brought mainstream attention to women's basketball in ways that are reshaping the sport's future. Sold-out arenas, record-breaking viewership, and a wave of new fans are all testaments to her influence. Yet, like any trailblazer, Caitlin has faced her share of criticism. Some detractors have questioned her style, while others have scrutinized her rise, calling it overly hyped or undeserved. But as the legends of the game remind us, greatness often draws equal parts admiration and skepticism. A new era of women's basketball. Basketball greats like Magic Johnson and Kevin Garnett have weighed in, not to heap pressure on Caitlin but to highlight what her journey represents. Magic, with his decades of experience, sees something transformative in Caitlin's rise. He's compared her impact to the legendary NBA rivalry between himself and Larry Bird, a rivalry that didn't just define an era but also elevated the league to new heights. Magic's message is clear: players like Caitlin are the future of basketball, and their presence is ushering in an era of growth and excitement for women's sports. But he also urged patience, reminding fans that young stars need time, support, and the right environment to truly shine. Kevin Garnett, known for his grit and unrelenting drive, echoed a similar sentiment. He sees Caitlin's current challenges, tough defenses, critical fans, and even biased officiating, as necessary hurdles on her path to greatness. For Garnett, these trials aren't roadblocks, they're the forge in which champions are made. A league at a crossroads. Caitlin Clark's meteoric rise has also exposed deeper truths about the WNBA and women's basketball. The league has long struggled to balance its aspirations for growth with the challenges of breaking into the mainstream sports conversation. Players like Caitlin, however, are proving that women's basketball can be just as thrilling, competitive, and marketable as any other professional sport. Legends like Michael Jordan have also taken note. Jordan, no stranger to overcoming criticism and scrutiny, has openly called for the WNBA to recognize Caitlin's impact. He's advocated for fairer officiating and greater respect for her contributions, emphasizing that the league owes her, and the next generation of stars, a better platform to succeed. The road ahead. What makes Caitlin Clark's story so compelling isn't just her undeniable skill or her ability to silence critics. It's the way she's inspiring a new generation of players and fans alike. Her journey is a reminder that greatness isn't just about talent, it's about resilience, adaptability, and the willingness to embrace the spotlight, even when it's harsh. As women's basketball enters this new era, Caitlin's rise serves as both a challenge and an opportunity for the WNBA. Will the league embrace this moment and build a platform that allows players like Caitlin to thrive? Or will it fall back on old habits, missing out on the chance to transform the sport? One thing is certain, Caitlin Clark isn't waiting for permission to shine. Her story is still being written, and if the early chapters are any indication, it's a story that will be remembered for generations to come.